What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, looking at a new Subterror card that, holy jeez, woo, this card is amazing. I actually wasn't sure if I was going to make any more videos today, and then this bombshell dropped, and she is probably going to be the best Subterror support that Archetype is ever going to see. Now, you guys know I have gone on the record. I said as soon as Subterrors were pretty much announced, and we kind of saw the first opening cards and how they worked, I was like, yeah, not really feeling them. They're not going to be competitive. They probably will never top a YCS unless they get something like extremely broken. She could be that card. And by the way, let's just put out there, I have pretty much been right. Everything that I said about, I knew that they weren't going to be that good just because the way they play Yu-Gi-Oh! Of like putting monsters face down and then flipping them face, like that doesn't work. Like it worked during the GX era with like Pac-Man, but like that doesn't work in 2016 Yu-Gi-Oh! 2017. The game is just too fast, and I knew that instantly. People will be like, well, what about Geargia armor? The thing about Geargia is that was just one card in an archetype. It wasn't the whole deck. This whole deck kind of revolves around, at least all the behemoths revolve around flipping face up and then going down and flipping face up and then getting really good effects. But she is the card, guys, that honestly could fix everything within the deck, and I think I'm gonna have to change my stance on Subterrors because she is so good on paper. So this is Subterror Fiendess. She is spellcaster level 1, 800 attack, 500 defense, earth attributes, and I think that this card is good enough to warrant running 1-for-1 in your deck. It's kind of like Infernoids, how Infernoids can run 1-for-1 just to get Decatron, and like that's it. I think this card is good enough to just play 1-for-1 because her hand effect and her field effect are so strong. By the way, she's a hand trap that actually has a broken on-field effect as well. So it says, during either player's turn, when an opponent activates a card or effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target one Subterror monster you control, negate the activation, then change the targeted monster to defense position. So some people are basically saying that she's kind of a Solemn Judgment. She's very similar to that. I would call her more of an effect veiler. She's basically an effect veiler that can work on traps and also spells, because she's not a Solemn Judgment in the sense that she doesn't actually destroy the card, but that still is a really, really powerful effect. Not just that she can pretty much negate anything, but the fact that she also can be put, she also puts your Subterror monsters face down as well. So she can put your behemoths back face down. And even if you don't have a behemoth, if you put like an archer face down, I mean, I think that's perfectly fine. If archer dies, archer's just going to replace itself. It actually puts it face down so your opponent can't use things like Castel and 101. So, you know, targeting it won't be quite as easily. I think that the first effect is extremely good. Like, I thought it's really practical effect, and the most important thing is that effect can be used while on the field or in the hand. So obviously if it's in the hand, your opponent's not going to see it coming. If it's on the field, you know, they'll, I guess, have to try and play around it. The second effect, I think, is, as much as people are going to love the first effect, I think the second effect is actually arguably better. The second effect is you can target one face-up monster you control, change it to face down defense position, and if you do, special summon one Subterror monster from your hand or graveyard in face down defense position. This is ridiculous because this is a fucking +1. Like, there's no ways about this. All she has to do is just summon herself, and I believe that you should be able to activate this effect on her, which is even stupid. I'm not sure if she has to stay face up to resolve her effect. I don't believe that she has to. I think that all you have to do is just have a monster go face down, but that's kind of crazy. You just summon her, you flip any monster face down. It does not have to be a Subterror monster, and then you just get any Subterror monster back from your deck, and it can go in defense position face up, or it can go face down, and that's a +1. It can get your behemoths back. I believe that she can use it on herself, and I gotta say, guys, Konami, they must have been hearing the cries of the players, because I haven't thought that Subterrors, like, I don't think that they're that great of a deck, but this card makes them so much better. I've been saying for a while that Subterrors need a way of stopping like field removal, because I can't tell you how many times I see these Subterrors get these really big fields and then they just lose everything to Regeki, or they lose everything to Dark Hole or a Twin Twister, and they just have no way of defending themselves. This is the card that can basically just, you know, put an end to all of that getting blown out by these field clearing cards. I think that she's really good. I think that you have to run 3 of her. I think, shit, even things like Soul Charge become like probably relevant in the deck now, because would I like to get 2 of her back from the graveyard? Hell yeah. Maybe I discard her one time and, you know, I bring back another one, flip a monster face down, get another monster back for free. I just think that if you can now protect your field from I just think if you can protect your field from those board wipes, I think that Subterror has become a much better deck. I actually did a Dueling Book replay or a commentary. I didn't even upload it, but I said that Subterror's past turn 3 becomes so much better of a deck because they excel so hard at grinding. They're one of the best grind decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's kind of similar to Dark Magician. It's just getting to that setup. So what do you guys think? I think that she's fantastic. I don't even know if they'll get any more support, but it's hard for me to imagine they'll ever get a card that's better than this, that has 2 effects. One of them is like a watered down Solemn Judgment. The other one is just a instant +1, get any monster back from the graveyard. You can activate both effects in 1 turn because I believe that they are both, you can only use each effect once per turn. There we go, last line of the card. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about Subterror Fiendess, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. I might even start picking up some Subterror cards, as crazy as that seems. Thank you guys for watching as always.